Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam from VideoShowMeHow. And in this video, we're gonna run through how to use a ball joint removal tool. You can see here we have our removal tool. Now there's lots of different types of these on the market. Some are more comprehensive than others. This is probably more of a basic kit. The main thing is to make sure that the kit that you get is going to work on the vehicle you're going to be using it on. So here's all the bits and bobs that come with a ball joint removal kit. You have the main event, which is the C frame here, this big chunky guy, and that's sort of the main event really. You also have then the forcing screw, which is the section in the middle. You have some installing and receiving cups, which are these guys here. You then also have receiving tubes, which are these, and these are the ones that will come in all sorts of different sizes. They're designed to go over the top of the ball joint themselves. Then you also have some adapters, and that's what these are. These are kind of the catches, really, of the ball joint when you're removing them, and they come in different sizes and what have you. Some are shorter than others, but that's what makes up a general kit. Now, a ball joint removal tool is basically a little press, but obviously much more compact than one of those big H-frame shop presses. The best thing about that is it allows you to use this while your parts are still on the vehicle. Cool, so now what we'll do is use the tool to remove one of these guys, and I'll show you which bits you need to do exactly that. And then also to install one of these into a diff housing over here, and I will show you which bits that you're going to need to do that as well. So we're going to work on the lower ball joint just here, and what we're going to need to do is press this out. Ball joints by the design have a little lip on them. You can see on this one here, this is what they look like, and there's a little cup section, but then there's a lip that runs around here, and you can see on the top one here, there's our lip where this has been pushed in from the top, and conversely on the bottom section with this guy looking like this has been pushed in from underneath. Once it hits the little lip, it's installed. So to get them out, we need to reverse that procedure, which means we need to push down on these and catch this underneath to get it out. And then for one of these, this style, we'd need to push up like that to get it out from the other side. So first things first, if your ball joint has any grease nipples like that one there, they need to come out. So you've got a nice flat section to push against there. And then also underneath, if you have any boots like this guy, they need to come off as well. So from here, it's just a matter of cranking down on this guy to push him out. You really want this to be as in a straight line as possible. And you can see on this particular demo, it's probably not that straight, mainly because we've got an upper ball joint here as well on this particular diff housing. If you do run into something like that, it's a matter of just flipping this around and having the C-clamp the other way so that you're pulling down. So as you can see, we've flipped the whole unit upside down, and the idea is that we're going to be cranking from the bottom. Now, this is just a matter of sometimes you might need an extra little spacer in here. My particular kit didn't have one of these, but yours very well may do. It's a matter of just doing the same principle. We want to be pressing on the actual ball joint itself here, having a cup that goes on the outside and pressing against the housing, leaving the ball joint nice and free underneath here, and then pressing against something hard. In this case I've got one of the additional caps, so it's pressing not the ball joint itself, and it can fall down inside here. So from here with this particular setup, once again, you would crank on the bottom. I'm not going to be able to use that guy, going to have to use the muscles using a breaker bar. But from there, it's a matter of cranking down and releasing your ball joint. All right, so once you've popped and cracked and you've got the thing loose, you'll see it starting to really pop down, just like we can see here, and it is nice and loose. From there, you've just got to loosen this guy off. Catch all your bits as it falls out. And in your cup here is our ball joint. So there we go, that's how we use our ball joint removal tool to remove one of these guys. Now let's have a go at installing one. All right, so now to install a ball joint using the tool, you're going to need the C-frame again. We're going to need one of the tubes. We're going to need one of the install cups and one of the adapters to sit over the top. Now, as far as the tube goes, you're going to want to get one that is the correct size for your ball joint. How you can tell that is get your ball joint look for the shoulder, the little lug here, the little ridge, and then your tube is going to want to sit in on top of it like that. So see how it's able to press down exactly pretty much on the shoulder itself. That's what you're after, because if you think about it, when we're forcing this up, this tube we're going to want to force evenly around the shoulder section of the ball joint. That's going to allow it to push up into the housing just the way we want. Now you're going to want to make sure that this is all nice and clean. Check the inside here that there's no nicks or burrs. If there is, get yourself a round file and just make that all nice and clean. A little dab of grease at this point never goes astray, just to put a little bit around the inside of the housing so it makes the install nice and smooth. Then get your new ball joint, make sure you remove the dust cap here and line it up into the housing there and give it a good whack. That'll just keep it in place. Now same story here again, depending on how much room you have top or bottom. In this case, obviously we still have our top ball joint, so we're going to need to push it up this way. So we're going to want our C-clamp to go up that way. So we want to grab our adapter, and that sits over the top. It's important that that's a large enough area to sit over the top there, just like that. We then get our tube, our installation cup here, and we're going to use this one because it has a nice little section in here for our C-clamp. So that will sit on there just like that, through onto the shoulder of the ball joint itself, just like that. Our C-clamp then sits on here just like this and tighten it down. Now once it's tight, you just want to align everything, make sure everything's nice and straight as possible, just like that. And then from there, same story, we just need to torque this guy down and push this guy into the housing. And just check periodically just to make sure that it's going in nice and square. Now once fully installed, just like here, you'll find it gets significantly harder to turn, and that's when you know you're fully seated. Then it's just a matter of loosening everything off, and voila, there's our new ball joint fully installed and nicely seated. And there we are, pretty straightforward. You just be installing any grease nipples, and don't forget your rubber boot on the bottom, and that's as simple as it gets. That's how you use your tool to install a ball joint. Well, there you go guys, a nice quick and easy guide on how to use your ball joint press. If you're keen to support the channel, hit the old subscribe button, leave a like and a comment down below, and feel free to share this video on any of your socials where you think it might be helpful to others. Here's a couple of links to some other videos that you might enjoy. Other than that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.